Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Super Metroid Randomizer Speed Gaming Live 2023 game. We have NotNowGwen going up against a real cutie. If this is your first time watching this tournament, these settings are Major Minor, Area Boss. We should be getting underway shortly, just as soon as the delay catches up. So kind of an interesting match here. Cutie a definite favorite, one of the absolute best any percent runners of all time, and has recently just taken to rando and really shown some incredible decision-making skills. Gwen, meanwhile, is definitely a newer runner and has been improving at a rapid clip. We see both runners are using the trans Samus skin, very nice. So yeah, in the early stages of the game, we are mostly just looking to get some good portal knowledge. Pretty much looking for items is trying to find the suit. Gravity is a lot more non-negotiable. Varia, given the right number of E-tanks, boss locations, and minor items, Varia is somewhat optional. But gravity is just such a huge time save. Then Ice Beam start. I know a lot of people tend to be somewhat annoyed with Ice Beam, especially in the early game. But it is certainly a huge find. It's a way to get through Boss Wound's chamber should that be necessary. Saves a ton of time in Turian, and it is a non-trivial damage upgrade. So Gwen has a little bit of trouble getting the Rio deboost, but shows some good knowledge to use that Ice Beam to just freeze the Rio. Not have to spend a bunch of time messing around there. No power bombs, so we are orphaning the meme route portal. Decent chance we come across it later anyway, but it could be Turian, could be Croc, could be Kraid's Lair. All of which are pretty annoying. And generally that is one of the things with area rando, is you're really looking for knowledge of your terminal portals, that is, portals that don't connect anywhere else. Since once you know all of those, it actually becomes a lot more compelling to be able to skip one-off portal checks that are super long. Yeah, we can see Cutie's parlor strategy has to be a little bit different with Ice, but he's still showing off some super impressive movement. Some of the best you'll see. Meanwhile, Gwen has decided to just turn off Ice Beam for now. Makes a lot of sense, especially in the climb. It can be really frustrating. All right, and with just an E-tank at BT, that means both of our runners are going to be forced to take the Battle Crabs portal on the right side of Criteria, as all other checks require some sort of way to break bomb blocks, or in the case of Moat Portal, required power bombs. QD is opting to take the save here. Because we're funneled into specifically one portal, it's a bit less likely that we're going to end up in a situation where we have a point of no return that we can choose to take. But it's still quite possible if we see a branch in the path immediately after going through this portal. And we do immediately find the meme route portal here at the top of Red Tower. Means Cutie will be continuing onward. Has to find power bombs here. Like, there's literally no other configuration that is possible. And that does mean that Cutie has the option of doing X-ray deboost. It is significantly slower not having a second E-tank. However, I think it's reasonable to skip it. I think it's reasonable to do it. I'm inclined to say don't leave things behind, though, even if it is in a hub area like Red Tower. Especially when Cutie knows he has the movement advantage. I think it's a lot more reasonable for him to make this sort of coverage play. And speaking of kind of coverage plays as well here, Cutie's going back up to check moat. This is really slow. You're adding in at least one extra elevator transition. And then another one on top of that if you are not continuing onward in the moat portal. The other choice he has, if the moat portal is nothing, is he can go to the left side of Criteria, and that's 2 more portals to check. It is kind of rough leaving Red Tower behind when Red Tower has 3 portals and 2 major items. However, something that I've seen a lot of people start preferring is sort of bisecting Red Tower, much like we say about Upper Norfair. Turn it into West and East Upper Norfair. Basically turn Red Tower into North and South Red Tower. Because it is a kind of obnoxious area to traverse. Alright, there we go. Nice CWJ from Cutie. Cutie comes face to face with the illusion of free will. This is actually pretty nice because there's a decent chance that Spazer has an E-tank. Cutie finds that on the way and has a significantly faster X-ray deboost should he choose to pursue that route. Alright, and there we go, E-tank. Gwen, meanwhile, is spending a lot more time to pick up some minor item checks. This is kind of interesting. I feel like it's fallen a little bit out of favor to be this aggressive in looking for ammo, especially so early on. But it could be to her benefit. We'll have to see. Meanwhile, Cutie is choosing to, at the very least, check the other 2 portals down here at the bottom of Red Tower. Finds back of Lower Norfair. And he ends up in an awkward situation if this last portal is something he wants to follow. Generally, a decent rule of thumb is leave portals behind in 2. Doesn't matter, though. We have now found both sides of LN. So now that Cutie is going to the middle Red Tower portal anyway, I think it is pretty likely he X-ray deboosts here. 2 tanks, you can't really ask for any more than that, outside of not having to X-ray deboost at all. And so, ooh, that's a really rough hit to take. Now Cutie's going to have to farm these bugs a little bit. We did see Cutie turn off Ice Beam, so there are a few different ways to do the beginning part of X-ray deboost. I actually tend to prefer a gap skip because you don't have to turn off beams, which saves you a pause. Oh, and that was pretty neat, actually. Cutie is able to just get a few farms in Red Fish Room. And Cutie's actually bailing. I think that's fair, especially against an opponent you have a pretty good idea will not X-ray deboost. You just say, you know what, I'm not feeling it today. I'm not going to lose this because of a dumb death. You know, Cutie just needs to make good, smart plays here. And he is a definite favorite. Meanwhile, Gwen, without having done CWJ earlier, is essentially doing Red Tower in a somewhat different order that actually seems to be pretty beneficial. If the answer is on the left side of Criteria, it's still possible at this point that the answer is to fall down West Meridia and follow one of those two portals. However, decently likely that, especially now with two E-tanks, we find something we can do on the left side of Criteria. Oh, the 3 tanks especially now. 3 tanks Cathedral Hell runs are possible, although less than ideal. Really, once we get to 4 tanks, we're looking at full clearing Bubble Mountain a lot more comfortably. And we do find left side of Upper Norfair. So that's pretty nice, gives us 2 major items checks. And Cutie is going for that classic strat of sort of bisecting Upper Norfair. And if you are going to split Upper Norfair into West and East, then you want to check these 2 major items before checking portals. The only situation where it gets a little bit awkward now is, let's say Cutie finds speed within these next 2 checks. Then Bubble Mountain becomes more compelling, but on 3 E-tanks, you're still checking the other portals anyway. It would kind of take, like, finding Varia and speed or something. Fourth E-tank makes Hell runs significantly nicer. Still not going to be preferable to, let's say, finding Green Brinstar, or... yeah, pretty much Green Brinstar at this point. Cutie has a little bit of trouble with Iceless Ice Escape. Decides to just bail on it. It's, especially when your health is ticking down, it's significantly better to just immediately bail than waste a bunch of time and health. Very nice diagonal door shot. I thought that was going to miss, I'm not going to lie. And we do find Varia. So there's a case to be made here that you leave behind the other Bubble Mountain portal and Mushroom Kingdom. I don't like that case. I think it's significantly better to just check those 2 portals. If it's nothing, you're doing Upper Norfair anyway. If either of those portals is Green Bryn, I think you still follow that. Interesting. So that crab hole, I don't think there's any way to get a gravity jump with that door connection. Good knowledge, though. If we end up in a situation where we have nothing else we can do, that means our runners can fall down West Meridia and know that they won't completely soft lock. That's significantly less likely to be a factor, especially with the way that Red Tower is set up, that it pretty much completely connects with Criteria and Lower Norfair with just the one West Meridia portal. Alright, now we have 3 of 4 West Meridia portals. Map knowledge is filling out rather quickly, and we actually still haven't found any of our terminals, which means there's a pretty decent chance we'll find something like East Meridia leads to Wreck Ship leads to Kraid's Lair or Turian. And I think if you are Gwen, knowing that you're the underdog here, that's sort of almost the situation you want to hope for, is essentially the kind of map where you have to make a guess about which path to follow, and if you choose wrong, it's super punishing and you're going to have to do a bunch of backtracking. It's not nearly as punishing here, where we know that LN isn't going to lead to anything. But even still, Wreck Ship to East Meridia to Turian, for example, when you have not seen Kraid's Lair yet, it's just about the hardest you can be punished by a map. Alright, nothing so far here in Bubble. Still got a couple more checks, but it's looking more and more like we're going to find single chamber leads to Greenbrain or something like that. Oh, and Cutie misses the deboost to Norfair Reserve. That's going to be really punishing. I wonder if he forgot that he has Ice Beam, or if he just feels more comfortable doing this than trying to freeze one of the waivers. Anyway, we could still have a pretty funny scenario where our runners have to fall down West Meridia to get to that Main Street portal, which leads to Greenbrain, and the other 2 Greenbrain portals are like Croc and Turian or something. Screw Attack is nice. Screw Attack showing up before it's needed, I am inclined to say, almost always is going to favor the runner with maybe the less polished movement or less variety in their movement, as you're generally looking to simplify movement options in order to maximize the chances that you're able to win just off of a good bet. Alright, yeah, pretty lackluster Upper Norfair, so we will have to see what this last Upper Norfair portal is. And if this is Turian or East Meridia or something, then we're going back to Red Tower and we're falling down West Meridia. It is Kraid's lair, so point still stands. We're falling down West Meridia. And you have to check the boss here. You can't leave it behind. Even though it's only a 50-50. Or actually less than 50-50 that you can kill this boss. At this point, with so few options, though, it does become significantly more likely it's a boss you can kill. And that will lead to progression. But yeah, really rough map. Definitely what you want to see if you're Cutie. You want to be making as few decisions as possible and really being forced into the correct route. Although it could be on his mind right now, you know. Gwen could have just chosen to fall down West Meridia immediately. And I honestly wonder if Cutie were in a race against somebody where he felt he didn't have as much of an advantage in movement or certain routing experience, whether he would have opted to fall down West Meridia immediately when he found it. Alright, so with Kraid being vanilla, we do get one additional major check in his closet. Just an E-tank behind him, though. I appreciate the usage of Spring Ball coming out of the boss room. Yeah. Great party room from Cutie. And a reserve tank, so West Meridia is the answer. Now, what you could do, if you wanted to be really cute, since you have Spring Ball, and also since there is a save station somewhat nearby, is you could check the Mama Turtle item. If it isn't anything, it's pretty slow. Honestly, if it's not anything, then it's probably better to just reset out than worry about the Spring Ball jumps. Because Spring Ball jumping without high jump just sucks. So this is pretty clever from Cutie here. He's actually going to make up some time by, instead of falling down West Meridia, coming from this portal on the top right of West Meridia. Unfortunately, is having some real trouble with these crabs. These strats get pretty obnoxious, honestly. Yeah, that crab's just too high. And Cutie was a little too good on the refreeze there. Yeah, might as well just reset the room now. So some frustrating time loss for sure, but honestly, even taking this much time, I wouldn't be surprised if this is still faster than going back to Red Tower. Oh no, cutie! It, like... Especially because the crabs move so slow and everything underwater is super slow, it's easy to look at Cutie's mistakes here and just assume he's completely bungling this, but there's a lot of subtlety involved. That is good. Cutie is a mash god. This is ridiculous. I like the use of ice. Not sure if it would have been a little bit faster to do a spring ball jump, but honestly with 2 pauses, probably not there. But yeah, with that save, I definitely think Cutie's checking Mama Turtle, so that's going to be pretty cool. And that might not necessarily be something that Gwen... Oh, yeah. You really want to have unmorphed before the door transition. Cutie says, I'm not going to reset or anything, just leave it. Yeah, and Gwen maybe not as familiar with ice strats in the top right part of West Meridia. It's just going to take the long way around. Definite time loss, but way better to do what you're comfortable with. And honestly, it's not even necessarily something intuitive to think that you can use Ice Beam. And as pretty much expected at this point, we do find Green Brinstar. Honestly, I think it's ideal to find the top portal. Then you get to clear out all the items and decide which of the 2 portals at the bottom you're leaving through. So we have East Meridia, Wrecked Ship, Turian, and Crocomire left. Now, there's some chance that we just immediately see Turian or Croc as one of the portals in Greenbryn, but if not, we can easily end up in a situation where, let's say, Gravity shows up. We have to choose between Wreck Ship and East Meridia first, which to follow. Meanwhile, Gwen is doing Gauntlet. Gets bombs out of it. Not the worst pickup, but you're really not looking to do Gauntlet just for bombs. And especially since we already have Spring Ball, bombs lose a lot of their utility. So honestly, that's just a strict time loss for Gwen over Cutie, unfortunately. And nearly 30 minutes in, we finally find a 25th super. The seed has not been super kind on ammo, and it's not like our runners haven't been checking. I don't really know how to express what Cutie has just done. It's hard to imagine a situation where you leave X-Ray behind and still win. You know, at the very least, you are taking the moral loss. Alright, Charge Beam. Now Super Count becomes significantly less important. It would still be nice to have supers, since Charge Ice is a pretty rough beam. That's 90 damage per charge shot. And shoutouts to the Green Hill Zone changes. So back of West Meridia with Spring Ball. Doable, not super fun. And now we have a pretty good chance that there's Croc here at the bottom, and I think you just have to follow it. But it is not, it's Turian. And so that means we don't have to play any guessing games. Wreck Ship will lead into East Meridia, will lead into Croc. And he's not going into Wreck Ship. Is he X-ray deboosting? Or oh no, we still have LN to do. Right, which is what Gwen is on right now. And unfortunately has killed the fleas that make it a lot easier to see. Looks like, okay, she does freeze this last flea, which makes it a lot easier. Yeah, honestly, Cutie does not have a great path back to Lower Norfair. Now he has to go through... Or, oh, right, this portal leads back to Criteria. This is still less than ideal, but Gwen's route is actually really nice, and Cutie really didn't garner himself much of a knowledge advantage at all. So, I mean, at this point, I think the best scenario for Gwen is everything's really straightforward. Gravity's just behind the boss here. And then she is able to keep this lead from a route that is more favorable.
Alright, yeah, Gwen will farm up to 15 supers in the event it's Ridley. Pretty unlikely that it is Ridley since we've already found one vanilla boss. So there's only one configuration possible that allows Ridley here. It is Ridley though. So that means that Dragon is in Rex Ship and Fantoon is in East Meridia. Alright, looks like Gwen is hopefully getting a good rhythm going here. With these double hit power bombs. Once Ridley gets out of position from where you want him, it can be kind of awkward to reestablish your power bomb rhythm. So yeah, like a few of these are not double hitting. Now I have to imagine here if you're Cutie, you X-ray deboost before LN. And it's kind of funny, even if gravity is here, that's actually perfectly fine for Jen, having found the grapple at Fleas. Certainly, I'm sure she would have appreciated it for the damage reduction here in LN, though. Just an E-Tank, though. Which, honestly, Gwen would probably also appreciate right now. Oof, this is getting really sketchy. She... Alright, Ridley should be dead now. Oh, no. Oh, Gwen, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, it can be really hard just to stay alive even after Ridley's dead. So that's a really significant chunk of time that Cutie has made back up. And I'm not sure what Gwen's plan is here. I guess this is for Mickey Mouse? Just hope that there's a super here, make the fight a bit easier. And there is a super, so that will definitely help a lot. That fall looked intentional. So I wonder if this is just a straight up bail. If so, that's really unfortunate because this is super punishing. Oh, going for GT. Yeah, unfortunately this is still a lot of time loss. Even if Gravity's here, she's just behind. And that is Gravity, so if Cutie decides not to check GT, that's pretty much what Gwen needs. And I think as long as Cutie makes the sort of safe coverage plays that he's been doing, he will find that gravity. I'll be kind of curious to see whether he just does back to front LN, or whether he leaves out the back and then lava dives to go check GT. I mean, I think you just do back to front, but it is kind of funny. This is the one instance where you could come out the back and hit up the front just for GT. And honestly, like, if you had gravity and space jump, it would probably be faster. But at that point, you're not looking for items anyway. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Gwen is super comfy with the spring ball jumps out of a wall jump. So that's a lot of extra bomb jumps here. And speaking of spring ball, nice spring ball through Ridley farm room there for Cutie. Really interesting that Cutie isn't starting out with power bombs. I hope he realizes that he reset charge. Oh yeah, there we go. And Cutie's not getting double hits here, unfortunately. There we go. Looks like he's got the rhythm down now. Oh. If Ridley doesn't turn red before Cutie runs out of power bombs, he's in a world of hurt. There we go, though. That's a red Ridley. Cutie just pretty much can't miss any supers. Fine, even if he single hits all of these power bombs, as long as he hits with these power bombs, he's okay. Oh god. I don't think Ridley's dead. He is, okay. touch and go. Ridley took damage when he was just off screen there, I think. Alright, good rhythm here for Gwen. Alright, she had the supers to spare. Alright, looks like Cutie will be checking GT. And Ridley goes down for Gwen. Very nice. This really is unfortunate because before that death, she had such a nice position in this race. Sick mock ball. Alright, fourth try, Green Gate Glitch. So, you know, not too bad. Enough to make you, you know, close enough that you would get it in a GT Classic run, but enough tries that you wouldn't get it in a sweaty GT Classic run. Yeah, so Gwen still is the first one out of LN. Unfortunately, I think Cutie just makes up this difference with movement. Which I don't think would have been the case had Gwen killed Ridley that first attempt. One is checking Mama Turtle here. Unfortunately, she does not have the knowledge of Charge and Green Bryn. So Cutie will be making up that time, and I think this is where he passes Gwen. Yeah, so Gwen's gonna do a few checks that Cutie won't bother with. Like, really the entire left part of Green Bryn. Nice up and 2 from Cutie. So I still think it's possible, even without the Ridley death, that Cutie could have made up the difference and pulled back in the lead. Just between the extra knowledge of Green Bryn, the little bit of extra portal knowledge, and general movement. Certainly would have been close, though. That was really nice there, beating out the enemy from Cutie. Yeah, and we knew this had to be Dragon. Alright, Gwen does make Beefy proud, picks up that X-ray. You love to see it. A little bit of trouble here for Cutie. He's also not even checking the Dragon item. I think that's kind of interesting. I guess on one hand you would expect maybe a little bit more of a coverage play of checking it. but also Cutie knows that he has bled potentially a lot of time to Gwen by not doing that LN earlier. And for anyone who does not know, this tournament is double elimination. So Gwen, assuming Cutie does finish in first, Gwen will not be out of it. Winners round 1 and losers round 1 are best of 1. All future rounds are best of 3. So this first game is pretty scary, especially for some of the matchups that really don't feel like they should be game 1 matchups. Birthingham versus Smellin comes to mind. Of course, that is also just a testament to how good people have gotten at Rando. Honestly, even just over the past year, I think people have gotten significantly better at playing area. And Cutie does find Spazer. That's a pretty nice damage supplement. It does mean that he has the Sis Beam, which is kind of awkward when comboed with the trans suit, but it is what it is. Certainly a wave or a plasma would be really nice to find, but I seriously doubt Cutie checks anything else if he's skipping the check behind Dre. Meanwhile, Gwen is on the right path, and now there's no knowledge difference between these two runners. It is just purely execution plus the lead that Cutie already has. So aside from something really catastrophic, there's not really a way that Gwen can get back in this. That was a really high super on the door. A wonderful moonfall. It's kind of hard to make that moonfall save time. Nice fight from Gwen. And a good recovery there for Cutie. Oh, and Gwen does find Wave Beam behind Dragon, so pretty sure that would have paid for itself. But it's close. It would have been a much bigger deal if Cutie had not found Spazer. Alright, and Cutie will get one final item check-in. So best things he could find here are speed or plasma. It's just an E-tank though. And with that, Cutie is en route to Turian. Just a wrecked ship and a little sliver of green brine to go. And Gwen will be getting the full new route beam. Definitely a very nice beam to have. Really nice missile strat there from Cutie, getting through Green Hill Zone. That hopper's super annoying to deal with. I appreciate farming the CAC. Even if it's not necessary. I guess that shot gets the CAC out of the way regardless. Cutie's playing these Metroid rooms a little safe, grabbing all of these drops. Each super is a pretty significant amount of time here, so... Makes sense. He's being really careful, though. Yeah, he really wants full soups. Alright, Gwen should be able to 3-round pretty comfortably here. That was 3 there. It was either 3 or 4 the first Doppler, so she should be fine. Oh, and the right's low. You hate to see it. There we go, nice lady put away. No baby skip for Cutie. It's pretty rough going for baby skip on this loadout. It's a lot more reasonable because he does have charge and bombs, so he can do the Yahoo pool bombs baby skip, as it were. But if you haven't specifically practiced low ice baby skip, it's not worth going for remotely. And Cutie just turns off screw attack there. It's pretty unreasonable to down back step skip if you don't have wave beam. Alright, nice quick zap skip. That's 30 supers equivalent, so half this fight will be ammo. And Cutie's being really abundantly careful here, turning screw attack on. I almost wonder if this is a situation where Cutie feels like if my opponent hasn't finished by now, then she didn't find the route or why something happened to her. Alright. Cutie's not going for stand-up or anything. Makes sense on this beam. You save a couple of seconds. It's not worth it, honestly. Gwen makes it into Turian. She'll probably be done a little bit further than the Metroid rooms by the time Cutie finishes. Probably past 80 actually. Cutie doesn't have speed. Alright, nice MB3 there for Cutie. Not 3 minutes on the timer though. Shame. other benefit of turning super attack back on, Cutie does have a much nicer lead ring. Decent nice ball. Very nice parlor, clean ledge grabs. Love the spring ball. And with that, a real cutie finishes with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 44 seconds. GG. So very nicely done from Cutie. Certainly a rough route, but Cutie navigated it nicely. We'll see if he wants to come in for an interview. All right, just a couple more shots for Gwen here. There we go. All right, and we are joined now by a real cutie, winner of today's race, GG.
Thank you. I was sweating. I swear, when you get a weird seed when you're the favorite in a best of one, it's impossible to play. Your brain just shuts off and just thinks about all the ways it's going wrong or could be going wrong.
Yeah.
It's really hard to like play your race, like, because oh gosh, I didn't mind my reset out of Green Bryn. I think if I remember my ammo situation, I forgot how abysmal my ammo situation was at that save. And as soon as I loaded back in, I realized I was in a terrible spot. And at the same time, I was thinking about X-ray the whole time because I figured leaving it's fine because leaving it's fine because I don't think Gwen's gonna do it, and I don't want to spend time here having to farm my health back up to be safe because also I don't want to die because dying is a big way to lose as the favorite. So it just really can snowball. So then it's okay, well that's probably the solution because it's in logic, very bombs at gauntlet, just a bunch of different stuff. to put it in logic, and it's like, so I go do it, find an E-tank, and I'm like, oh, it's LN. It's got to be screw for me to feel like I'm not losing by a million years. And like as I'm getting down there, I'm like, oh, Ridley here's terrible. Like, I need to double hit almost all my power bombs. And I found the grapple and felt good because I was like, if I don't find a power bomb pack, then I can still do a Dragon. I knew like high jump or gravity had to be somewhere in LN though, so like I think it would have obviously lost me a lot more time to have done it this way. But like if it is Dragon, I was like, I can just grab the screw attack item because then it can't be like gravity or high jump behind Dragon or anything like that. And I knew the solution was in Lower Norfair at that time. But the thing that you're worried about is the solution being it's in Lower Norfair, and your solution in Lower Norfair is speed for like Waterway. And then you're like, wow.
Yeah.
That's bad. So it was like really I don't like it when Red Tower is just like contained to its own little loop. It feels so bad.
Yeah, it was a really obnoxious map.
Yeah, because like I also just wasn't thinking, because I was like, oh, I want to get to the fall down West Meridian. That's like definitely, if it's not X-ray, that's like totally the solution, right? Like that's gonna lead me somewhere. And my other thought was like, if it doesn't lead me to Green Bryn, like it's a either front of wreck ship. Like front of wreck ship's probably the worst thing to find there. And then like Green Bryn's probably okay, because like it's very likely that the item I'm missing is in Green Bryn, or like there's something in Green Bryn. And so then it just actually ended up becoming the worst portal possible.
Yeah. So Gwen had a pretty sizable lead, at least on paper, until she took a death to Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
She had a save in LN, but I still think between your movement and just the extra knowledge of like when you came back to Green Bryn, you didn't have to check anything. I think you still would have won, but it would have been a lot closer.
Yeah, because I think that it's also weird to find Green Bryn at the end like that, because it's like how much, like without knowledge, because like how much do you check? Like,
right.
You know, you've already seen so much that like there might be something good here. I think what you do is if your ammo, well, like you're missing charge, right? So I think like your ammo's bad, so I think you do Bryn Reserve depending on your ammo. So you do like Bryn Reserve, and then you at least do Charge Beam because it's like no extra doors kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, the ammo was abysmal in this suit. I don't think Gwen even had 30 supers by the time.
Oh yeah, that's so bad. It just kept snowballing. I was like, I need a super pack in LN here really bad, because earlier in the seed I did the math with 15 supers and 10 power bombs, and it's like, okay, I need to double hit all my power bombs and have 60 missiles. So I got the 60 missiles, 15 supers, 10 power bombs. I'm like, well, how good am I at power bombing Ridley? I don't know. I hope I'm good.
Yeah, the way you do it is terrifying. I thought most of those had not double hit because
have them double hit off screen.
Yeah, I think I double hit probably half of the 15 that I laid. Missing the super missile made my heart leap into my throat.
Yeah, I mean, it's one super, it's 3 single hit power bombs. So, like you were fine as long as you didn't horribly mess up, but it feels terrible.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh geez, like I thought some of my power bombs missed because like Ridley was like moving weird. So like Ridley was moving weird in a way where like either he's already dead or he just literally dodged all my power bombs doing things I've never seen, because I've never power bombed Ridley at that health threshold. Mm-hmm. So I like genuinely thought all 3 of mine might have just missed because it was really weird. I think Ridley might have actually just been dead pretty early. I think I probably like he was probably at exactly half, and then I like double hit a power bomb to put him like 400 under half, missed the super, and then I like single hit the first one, so my next 2 were probably fine. That's probably what happened.
Right.
But it was like still really spooky.
Yeah, Ridley math gets you in such a weird spot if it's a situation you're not used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and then also I like totally forgot that I had Varia, not gravity, when I went the PRKD way to lava dive. I was like, oh, I'm stupid. I was like, why am I running so slow in the lava? I'm supposed to run fast. I don't have speed booster. And I was like, oh, that's where I'm at right now, I guess.
And we are joined now as well by NotNowGwen, who finished with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour 19 minutes and 2 seconds. GG.
GG. That was... I hated that seed. I don't normally hate seeds, but it felt like the most linear seed I've played for such a long time.
It felt really linear, and like the thing was I did so I went through pre-aqueduct to get to Main Street, because I was like, that's probably like what it is, right? Like if this is great, like I can save at pre-aqueduct, because with Ice Beam you can get up there without high jump boots, like pretty quick if you're not in shambles like I was and wasted a minute doing it. But so I was like, oh, I'll save. I'll like get this portal knowledge since I'm right here. And like if it's Green Bryn, that's really good because it's like super likely that something is in Green Bryn. I just need a high jump, right? I just need a high jump. I just need a gravity, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, and if it's a different portal like in East Meridia or like a wreck ship, if it's a wreck ship, maybe check the boss for like, that being the solution. So then I did that and did like all of Green Bryn and realized the map situation and felt really bad because I missed X-ray earlier as well.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then I reset back to my save without realizing how bad my ammo was. So I did like a 60 15 15 Ridley. It was
Yeah,
and
I think mine was like 60 20 15. It was bad.
Yeah,
really
it
bad for
was
me.
it was so bad, and it was like the ammo this seed was really bad, and I felt like I was glad that the gravity was at screw attack in my situation, because I felt like if you did Lower Norfair early, you were likely to not pick up that item, knowing like if you did it before falling into Green Bryn or whatever.
No, I almost went to Meridia instead of going to Lower Norfair, and then I thought, why would I? I've got Varia. I can go down there and have a look. And I was hoping it wasn't Ridley, but it was. And so I was like, I gotta find something.
Yeah. Did you then go out the front to check screw attack in that situation?
After I died to Ridley, I don't know if I did enough damage to kill Ridley. I don't think I did, and I died. I was like, okay, let me go check Mickey Mouse and get another miner, and I'll go check Screw.
Okay, gotcha.
I really wanted high jump.
Yeah, I want high jump for a suit. I was looking for high jump the whole time. I found like grapple and LN, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like high jump behind Ridley or like high jump at screw attack, and I'm gonna feel really silly for not using my save to just meme check Mama Turtle or something silly like that. But yeah, it was just it's really weird to play seeds like this in like a situation like in a best of one.
Yeah, it's so weird to get to Green Bin and then be like, oh well, everything I've done so far is cut off. I don't need to go back there at all. And then Torvian's here, and it's like it's a tunnel, wreck ship, wreck ship and East Meridian Park.
Yeah, exactly. And like with Croc at the back, there's just like half the map's just cut off. There's so many majors that are cut off from you, and then like it's also like the way to lose from my perspective is don't make a catastrophic mistake. So then like I went to do X-ray deboost and I missed the gap skip at the beginning and I only had 2 tanks, so I was at like 239, which is doable, but it's not the safest thing in the world. So I was like, okay, screw it, I like won't check X-ray. So then like the whole time I'm in Green Bryn, not finding high jump, not finding gravity, I have like Gauntlet and X-ray on my mind, like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be so bad. And it's really hard to play because you just think of all the ways that your opponent could have just destroyed you by doing just the right thing, because you have no clue where your opponent is. It's really kind of stressful.
I thought I'm jumping up to X-ray, but I thought it's so slow, and it's like it's such a long way. I didn't want to. I skipped it. But,
yeah.
But if I let it be nothing, that would have been what I did, I think.
Yeah, and after I found my power bombs, I actually went back up the Red Tower elevator to like CWJ across, check that portal, and I was gonna go across Criteria. Because I was like, oh, I'll probably just like find Red Bryn Star like later or something, and I can check it with like more E-tanks to do X-ray more efficiently or something, right? And so then I CWJ across and find the tube, and I'm like, well, now this is just the least efficient way possible to clear Red Bryn.
That's really unlucky.
Yeah. It happens though, right? It's randomizer.
Yeah, when I got to Torian, I started thinking, oh no, did Cutie miss gravity suit or something? What's happened
It's
here?
really possible. Yeah, it was. I had absolutely no clue how, like, what kind of finish time someone could get if they were like, because my thought was if someone does Lower Norfair early, there's a chance they don't check screw attack because like it's really weird to want to go all the way there. And so
Yeah, I
then
almost never
when I
check
saw the
it.
gravity at screw, I felt pretty good. So I was like, okay,
Mhm.
there's a chance that if someone, did Lower Norfair early, like I feel like I should have done, that they would have not checked this. And then I'm in a really good spot. But it was just like you have no clue. So it's really spooky.
Yeah, definitely. Right, well, thank you very much for the race. That was fun.
Mhm. It was fun, I would say. Yes, I love racing, so it's always fun. But it, the seed gave me a scare.
Yeah, I definitely had the jitters for a lot of the seed.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like the whole time. Just I feel like I'm doing the exact wrong thing every time. Anyway, thanks for commentating, Glove. I hope it was entertaining, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely fun race to watch from the perspective of somebody where there are no stakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, well played, both of you. Best of luck, Cutie, in winners round 2. Best of luck, Gwen, in losers round 1. And that's going to do it from us here at Speed Gaming. Be sure to go follow both of these runners. Go follow NotNowGwen. Go follow A Real Cutie. If you would be so kind, follow the broadcast team as well. I've been Glove on comms. We've had Fishing Boo on tracking. And from all of us here at Speed Gaming, we will see you next mission.